11.2, areas of circles and sectors. We will define sectors when we get to that on the next page. An area of circle must have radius, it's pi r squared. So if you're given a diameter, you will have to find the radius from a diameter divided by 2. So the exact area, that means they want it in pi units and then to the nearest hundredth. So area is pi r squared. So this would be 36 pi inches squared. And then if you take that times, substitute 3.14 for pi, it would be approximately 113.04. Area, next one, pi times the radius squared. So in pi units, it's 110.25 pi feet squared, or approximately 346.19 feet squared. Last one, I'm given diameter. I can't find area from diameter like I can circumference. So I have to divide by 2 to get the radius. So area equals pi r squared, which is approximately, or is, I should say, 153.76 pi centimeters squared, or approximately 482.81 centimeters squared. Okay, so we're given area this time, and it wants me to find the radius. So I need to divide by 3.14, and I get r squared. And remember, to undo something being squared, I have to take the square root. So it is approximately 7.42 inches. And the same thing with number 5, we're given the area, trying to find the radius, divide by 3.14, and then take the square root, second x squared on your calculator. Okay, so that was area. Let's look at sectors. The official definition is that it is a region bounded by 2 radii. Radii is just a plural, radius, of the circle, and their intercepted arc. So think of it as a portion of the area. Like arc length was a portion of the circumference, a sector is a portion of the area. And we can find the sector kind of like we did with the arc length. So you take the arc of the sector over the area must equal the measure of that arc over 360. And if you want to rearrange, you can rearrange like so. And this should say area. Thought that didn't look right. That's a typo from the resources. Okay, so it's that portion of the area, the sector, over the whole area equals the measure of the arc for that portion over 360. So it's always better when we do some examples. So we're going to find the area of the sector, the shaded region. So that area, I'm going to call it AS, over the entire area. So the entire area, and if you want to do that off to the side, would be 3.14 times 4 squared. Measurement of the arc, which we know is the same as the central angle. And then we take that area, and all we're going to care about is the small area for now. I'll show you how to do the large area on the very last one. So 360 my stylus doesn't want to work, equals 326.56. So the area of the sector divided by 360 is 9.07. Inches squared. So that's the actual shaded region. So let's do another one. Area of the shaded region. I need the area of the whole circle. 3.14 times 27 squared. Is 2289.06. Angle over whole thing. And cross products, you can do the math if you want. I'm not going to show all the steps. So it would be 826.61. Again, remember that this is area. Okay, so during the last one here, we're going to find the area of both regions. So we're going to find the area of the shaded region, just like we did before. Area of the whole circle. So the area of the sector. And this time the angle is for the white section. So I need to find it for the shaded section. And we subtract. So you have to make sure that you use the right corresponding parts. So the shaded sector is 426.73. If I want the area of the white region, I would take 1017.36 minus 426.73, and you will get 590.63. And we need units on the end there, which would be meters squared. Okay, and then we're going to use the diagrams to find the indicated measures. Find the indicated measures. So in number 11, we're going to find the area of the circle H. So we're given the sector area, which is 23.79. So it's the area of the sector over the area of the circle, equals the central angle, which we know is 80 over 360. So again, cross products, solving for just the area of the circle. You take 360 times 23.79, then divide by 80, you would get 107, and I went 3 decimal places, I'm only going to go 2, and its area, feet squared. Same thing with the next one, only this one it says it wants to find the radius. So let's find the area first. So area of the sector, 40.62, area of the circle, central angle. So the area of the circle with cross products, 360 times 40.68 divided by 98 is 149.22. And then you use your area formula. So you know 149.22 equals 3.14 r squared. R squared, take 149.22 divided by 3.14. And then take the square root. Linear units. Okay, and then we have this multiple problem. So I'm going to write the answers down here, or the problem solving down here. So we're given the area of the whole circle. We're given the area of the sector. Find the indicated measures. Okay, so if the area of the whole circle is 295.52, and I want to find the radius, it's very easy to find that from area. So r squared equals 94.11. So r equals 9.7 inches. Okay. The circumference is then 2 times pi times the radius that I just found. And that's 60.92. To find the length of, or the measure of an arc, so that means I'm looking for degrees. We do the area of the sector divided by area of the circle. The measure of the arc, which will be the central angle, over 360. Cross products, so you're going to take 60 times 55 divided by 295.52. So the measure of arc PQ is going to be 67. To find the length, that's from a prior section. Remember the arc length, so we'll call it arc length, over circumference equals that same ratio of 67 over 360. So 67 times 60.92 divided by 360. So my arc length equals 11.34 linear units. Perimeter of the shaded region. Okay, so perimeter is basically the lengths, the 2 radii, plus the arc length. So 2 radii, so what is a radius? 9.7. I have 2 of them. And I need to add that arc length that I just found. You add those together and you get 30.74 inches. And then in 19 it says the perimeter of the unshaded region. Okay, oops. So the first thing we need to do is find the arc length. So the arc length, which would be the arc length of PTQ. Well, if I know my central angle is 67, this is 67, then all the rest is 360 minus 67, which is 293. So I could find the arc length by saying arc length over circumference. And this is just one way of doing this. I'll show you the other way then. 60.92 equals 293 over 360. So that arc length, using cross products again, is 49.58. And then you're just going to add 2 radii to that. The easier way to do that would take the circumference, which we know is 60.92, and let's put this in a different color. So, or you take 60.92, which is the circumference, and subtract that arc length that we found, which was 11.34. So you get the 49.58 that way, and then still need to add the 2 radii. Just another way. Don't always think of that stuff. Okay, find the area of the shaded region. So we could find the area of the unshaded region. Subtracted from the total area would be one way. You could do area of the sector using what I'm going to shade in purple. So you could do this area, and we can see that they're both going to be the same. You just take it times 2. So first thing we want to do is find the total area. Area of the circle is going to be 3.14 times the radius squared, which is 6. So that's 113.04. Okay, so then we need to find what the angle would be. So 180 minus 43, or the arc measure, whatever you would prefer calling it, is 137. So you can either use 137, then take your sector area times 2, or you can just use 2 times that arc length. So we have area of the sector over total area. Again, you can use 137, then take your answer times 2, or you could just use 274 over 360. Then the area of the 2 sectors together would be cross products, 86.04 units centimeters squared. Okay, the next one, you see that I have kind of like a pizza pie, and I have 3 slices that I want to find the area of. So how many slices do I have to begin with? I have 8. To find the angle, you could take 180, half of that, 180, and you see that they're divided into 4 slices, which makes each one 45. So that when you go to find the area of the sector, you could take your angle 3 times 145. To use as the angle. and then you'll have your sector area. So area of the whole circle, 3.14 times 13 squared, 530.66. And then you do the area of the sector, the whole area, that's a 5, sorry about that, over my angle or measure of the arc, which we know is 3 of those 45, so it's 135 over 360. Cross products, and you get 199. That is a 5. 0.00. And then this last one is kind of, it's where you're going to take the whole area, the whole circle, and then subtract the inner circle. So you want the large circle, then the small circle. And you have to pay attention, that 3.5 is only that small portion, that really small portion here on the end. That portion right there. So in order to find the whole circle, if the whole circle was shaded in, you need to find this radius, which is those two added together. So we're going to call it the area of the large circle is pi r squared, using 3.14. So that's 490.625. Then the area of the small inner circle, which would be pi r squared 9. And you would get 254. And you're going to subtract those two then. Large minus the small. And get 236.29. And this is the last video for assignment 1. Please make sure that you watch the Edpuzzle review parts 1 and 2 before completing the assignment.